Kia ora, I'm Mitiria today. I'm the co-leader of the Greens and I'm here in beautiful Piha where the Green Party along with Misha Davis and Rob Hamill have just launched Kiwi Bid, where all New Zealanders can sign up and bid to protect our oceans from deep sea oil drilling. I hope that you'll join us. Kia ora.
The natural environment, the ocean and Piha are my inspiration. New Zealand is now witnessing the largest oil exploration program ever undertaken here. At present, permits have been issued over an area larger than the whole of the North Island. It's a pretty serious issue when you consider the environmental consequences if something were to go wrong. Even the method that they use to explore for oil is of concern, especially for our critically endangered Maori dolphins. It's called seismic surveying and involves sonar explosions under the water. You don't have to be a scientist to understand that sonar explosions are going to have some sort of effect on a marine mammal that uses sonar to see and hunt for food. To me, oil drilling is unacceptable, especially when I know that green alternatives do exist.
3 weeks ago, we saw the government open up nearly 190,000 square kilometres of our water to deep sea drilling. And I've just come back from Parliament where yesterday, under urgency, the government has changed the rules to apply for a permit, now allowing companies without the technical or financial capability to do the work they want to do, which is to drill a well, to successfully apply for a permit. Because what we are talking about is something absolutely in the frontiers of technology. When you look at, say, drilling at 1,500 metres down, you're looking at a pitch black environment. It's almost freezing cold, yet the oil is gushing out close to boiling point. You know, the pressure would crush a person in an instant, and the cables have to be specifically hardened so they don't burst. This is metal cables, specifically hardened so they don't burst under the fantastic pressure. You know, no human could survive down there. You can only operate with advanced submersibles and robotics. Every extra metre you're drilling down magnifies the risks and makes fixing a problem even harder. Over in the States, they had 48,200 people working and responding on the spill. New Zealand only has 400 trained responders all across the country and only 60 in the national response team trained to a higher standard. In the Gulf, they had more than 1,000 vessels working on the spill and cleanup. In New Zealand, Maritime New Zealand has 3 boats they call skimmers, which are more akin to dinghies. Maritime New Zealand, despite the Gulf of Mexico spill being 600,000 tonnes of oil gushing in, only has nominated 5,500 tonnes as their response capability they're planning to do. So we know deep sea spill can cause 600,000 tonnes of oil, but Maritime New Zealand has only picked 5,500 tonnes. And I mean, let's be frank, they struggled with only 300 tonnes from the arena.
Allow me a moment, I'll just talk a little bit about, briefly about the adventures past that kind of helped shape my thinking today. And it began at the Atlanta Olympics when I heard about this first ever rowing race across an ocean, the Atlantic rowing race, which was to take place starting from the Canary Islands, Tenerife, just off the northwest coast of Africa, across to Barbados in the West Indies, about 3,000 miles of open ocean, about 4,500 kilometres of open ocean. I thought, mate, gotta break this! And you know, the amount of plastic I saw in mid-Atlantic, if you can imagine people seated here, when we're rowing, our heads were no height, we're about the same height off the water as we're rowing. So our visual sort of, you couldn't really see that far outside the boat. And on the calm days, rough days you couldn't see anything, wild and woolly, but on the calm days, every day, I saw plastic. And if you imagine too, we were trying to row 24/7, as I say, during your 2-hour shift, you'd focus on the compass, which is on the cabin of the boat. And if you went off a couple of degrees, you'd steer it straight again. And you're sleep deprived, physically exhausted, training yourself on the course, and occasionally you'd look out. So I must have missed a lot of stuff that would have gone past the boat, was within sight. One of the things I discovered mid-Atlantic though was what I already knew, but it was sort of a stark reality, how well we're trashing this place.
We've said no to nuclear, we've said no to mining in our national parks, and we have, some communities have already chased off mining companies from their waters. We think about Ngāi and Whānau Apunui and the work that Greenpeace did down there. We can say no to risky deep sea oil drilling, and we will.
We're giving the government a choice. Will they accept a bid from offshore oil companies that risk our environment and our economy from risky deep sea oil drilling, or are they going to listen to the people? I hope you can join the Kiwi Bid. Kia ora.